Ladies and gentlemen, the enemy doesn't attack what's weak. He attacks what threatens him. If you're under pressure, if you feel surrounded, if everything is trying to break you, that's not a sign of weakness. That's confirmation. You're a problem for the darkness. See, the devil doesn't fear comfort. He doesn't fear quiet. He fears a woman who knows who she is, a woman who wakes up with fire in her spirit and purpose in her bones. You're not overlooked. You're watched, not forgotten, targeted. Why? Because when you rise, chains break. When you speak, lies die. When you move, mountains shift. You've cried some nights nobody saw. You've still won battles nobody clapped for. But you're still standing, still rising, still walking in rooms. That's why you're dangerous. Not because life was easy, but because you didn't let it rain. You showed up when it break. You showed up when it hurted. You prayed even when you doubted. That's what faith looks like. You pray when you That's what power feels like. The devil fears a woman who doesn't need applause to walk in her calling, who doesn't wait for validation to lift her head, who's already been through hell and refused to stay there. So if you feel under attack, don't panic. It means you're loaded with purpose. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be seen to be chosen. Just walk in it, live in it, speak it, because you are not who the world says you are. You are the one the enemy warned his demons about. And you haven't even started yet. The enemy doesn't attack what's weak. He attacks what threatens him. That truth alone should shift your entire perspective. The pressure you feel, the storms you've had to walk through, the nights you lay in silence wondering if you'll make it through, those moments aren't signs of failure. They're not punishment. They are evidence. Evidence that you carry something too powerful to be left unchecked. You see, pressure is not the enemy. Pressure is the signal. It's the alarm going off in hell, announcing that you are waking up to your calling, that you are getting too close to something the enemy hoped you'd never discover. Your identity, your purpose, your voice. And make no mistake, when you begin to tap into the power that's inside you, all hell gets nervous. Not because you're loud, not because you have it all together, but because you are walking forward in spite of the weight. Think about it. A thief doesn't break into empty houses. So if your life feels like it's being attacked from every angle, maybe it's not because you're failing. It's because you're full of potential, full of destiny, full of light in a world drowning in darkness. And light always exposes what wants to stay hidden. That's why you feel what you feel. That's why the enemy keeps coming. He doesn't want you to realize that you've already won more battles than you give yourself credit for. He wants to distract you, discourage you, and delay you. Because if you ever actually believed in the weight you carry, you'd be unstoppable. Pressure is also preparation. When life feels like it's squeezing the life out of you, remember, diamonds are formed under pressure. The greater the value, the greater the process. You can't carry something sacred and expect it to come without struggle. You can't carry purpose and not face resistance. You can't be anointed and not attract attack. The reason it's heavy is because you're carrying something that matters. But don't let the pressure lie to you. Don't let it convince you that you're breaking. You're being built. Every hard moment, Every unfair season, every silent battle was shaping you for something you couldn't see yet. It was stripping away what wasn't needed, sharpening what was, strengthening your endurance, cultivating your character. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And here's what most people won't tell you: the enemy doesn't fear your plans. He doesn't care about your image. He fears your awakening. He fears you discovering that your power doesn't come from people or platforms. It comes from the God who never left your side, even when the pressure made you feel abandoned. The devil fears a woman who's walked through hell and still lifts her head. He fears the kind of strength that doesn't boast, but stands firm, that quiet resilience, that unshakable hope, that stubborn faith. So when life tightens its grip, when everything around you feels unstable, don't retreat. Don't question your worth. Don't mistake the fight for failure. Understand what's really happening. You are rising into who you were born to be. The pressure is not your enemy. It's your push. It's the thing that reminds you there's something inside you worth protecting, worth developing, worth fighting for. You are not under attack because you're weak. You are under attack because your presence is powerful. Your future is frightening to the forces that hoped you'd stay broken. Every step you take is a step closer to shaking the ground beneath you. Every choice to keep going, when quitting would be easier, is a threat, because the enemy knows that once you realize who you really are, once you stop apologizing for your calling, once you start walking with authority, you won't just change your own life. You'll change others. You'll break cycles. You'll heal wounds. You'll become the very thing darkness feared. You'd become a living weapon of light. So let the pressure come. You're not breaking. You're becoming. And everything the enemy meant to bury you is the same ground you're going to rise from with more power, more clarity, and more fire than ever before. You're not overlooked. You're watched, not forgotten, targeted. That's a truth many don't want to admit, but it's exactly what makes you powerful. When life feels like it's closing in, when challenges seem relentless, it's not because you're invisible. It's because you're a threat. Darkness keeps a close eye on those who carry light. The forces that want to keep you down know you're capable of something greater, and they don't want you to step into it. This targeting isn't random. It's a response, a reaction to the strength and promise inside you. You may have felt the sting of criticism, the cold shoulder of rejection, or the weight of unfair battles. But none of those things are signs that you're alone or forgotten. In fact, they're evidence that you matter, deeply and dangerously so. When you realize you're being targeted, your perspective changes. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what am I becoming? The trials aren't attacks meant to destroy you. They're tests meant to refine you. Every setback is a spotlight drawing attention to your potential. The enemy wants you to believe you're small, but the truth is the exact opposite. You're the one they fear. Not because you're perfect, but because you refuse to be defeated. Being targeted means you're on the right path. It means you're walking in your purpose, even if it feels uncomfortable or isolating. You're stirring up change. You're making noise in a world that sometimes prefers silence. And that kind of power doesn't go unnoticed. So when you feel the pressure of the watchful eyes, remember this: it's a confirmation that your light is shining bright enough to disrupt the darkness. You are significant. You are important. You are the one who shifts the atmosphere just by existing. That's why you're not just overlooked. You're targeted. The challenge then becomes this: will you rise in spite of the targeting? Will you keep moving forward, knowing the enemy's eyes are on you, or will you let fear convince you to step back? Let me tell you, true power isn't about avoiding the fight. It's about knowing the fight is coming and still choosing to advance. It's about embracing the fact that you're being watched because you carry something worth watching. You are a threat to complacency, to fear, to the lies that have tried to define you. And the enemy knows it. So stand tall, walk boldly. Know that you're not overlooked. You are the one the enemy fears most. And that fear means you're exactly where you need to be. You've cried some nights nobody saw. You've fought battles nobody clapped for. But here you are, still standing, still breathing, still moving forward when giving up seemed like the easier option. That's not weakness you're feeling. That's strength quietly building beneath the surface. Pain is often misunderstood. We think pain breaks us, but in reality, it shapes us. Every tear shed in silence, every heartbreak endured in solitude, every moment you felt like you couldn't take another step, that's the foundation of your power. Those struggles aren't scars of defeat, they're medals of honor. They tell the story of a spirit that refuses to be crushed, a heart that keeps beating even when the world feels cold. You may not have received a standing ovation for the battles you fought behind closed doors. No one might have seen your midnight prayers or felt the weight of your burdens. But that doesn't make your journey any less significant. In fact, it's in those unseen moments that your true character was forged. The world often measures success by what's visible, by trophies, titles, or applause. But the real victory lies in surviving when no one's watching. The real courage is in showing up for yourself every single day, even when the odds are stacked against you. That's what separates those who are truly powerful from those who only appear to be. Every setback you endured was not a roadblock. It was a stepping stone. Every moment of pain you carried was not a chain. It was a catalyst. You have been tested, tried, and tempered, and that process has made you unshakable. It's easy to stand tall when everything is smooth, but true strength is standing tall in the storm. You are living proof that pain does not have the final word. Your tears watered the seeds of resilience. Your silent battles have prepared you for the victories ahead. And even if the world hasn't applauded your struggle, know this: your endurance is your triumph. So embrace your story. The tears, the fights, the lonely nights, because they are the foundation of your power. You are not broken. You are built. And the strength you've gained through pain is the very thing the enemy fears the most. The devil fears a woman who doesn't need applause to walk in her calling. This is a kind of power that runs deep, quiet, steady, and unstoppable. It's not about seeking validation from the crowd or waiting for someone else's permission to rise. It's about knowing your worth, owning your purpose, and stepping into your destiny no matter who's watching or who's cheering. Most people think power is loud. They think it's about flashy displays, applause, and recognition. But real power is often silent. It's in the woman who shows up day after day, doing the work, believing in herself, even when nobody else does. It's the woman who doesn't need a spotlight because her light shines from within. This kind of strength is built on faith, conviction, and an unshakable belief that she is called for a purpose greater than temporary praise. When you stop relying on applause, you become free. Free to be authentic, free to make tough decisions, free to pursue what sets your soul on fire without hesitation. The devil fears that freedom because it breaks chains and shatters expectations. It's hard to control someone who walks in self, belief, and refuses to be swayed by outside noise. Walking in your calling without applause means trusting your journey even when it's lonely. It means continuing when the crowd is silent or even hostile. It means knowing that your value isn't determined by likes, comments, or approval. It's rooted in your purpose and identity. That's what makes you dangerous to darkness. Because when you no longer seek validation from the world, you become unstoppable. You're no longer playing by the enemy's rules or measuring your worth by temporary things. Instead, you stand firm in who you are and what you're called to do. This kind of power is rare. It's a power that says, I don't need to be seen to be chosen. It's a power that's earned in the quiet battles, the early mornings, the late nights. And that's exactly why it scares the enemy so much, because it's real, it's lasting, and it changes everything. So keep walking in your calling. Keep believing in yourself when no one else does, because that silent strength, that's the kind of power that moves mountains and changes destinies. It's not perfection that makes you powerful. It's perseverance. You prayed even when you doubted. That's what faith looks like. The journey hasn't been easy. There have been moments when doubt crept in, when the weight of uncertainty threatened to pull you under. But you kept going. You kept believing, even when the path wasn't clear. This kind of faith isn't about having all the answers or never feeling fear. It's about choosing to move forward despite the doubts and the questions. It's about holding on when everything inside you screams to let go. It's about standing firm on the promises you believe, even when the evidence seems to say otherwise. You're built different because you don't give up. You show up when it hurts. You keep fighting when the odds are against you. That's the kind of strength that breaks chains and rewrites stories. It's the kind of power that the enemy fears because it can't be defeated by storms or setbacks. Perseverance is what transforms trials into triumphs. It's what turns pain into purpose. Every step you take, even when it's hard, brings you closer to the destiny that's been written for you. The spirit inside you refuses to quit, and that refusal is your greatest weapon. So don't be discouraged by doubt or fear. They're just part of the journey. What matters is that you keep moving forward, one step at a time, holding on to the faith that you are destined for greatness. Your perseverance is proof that you are built to overcome, built to rise, built to conquer. Remember, it's not perfection that defines you. It's the courage to keep going when it would be easier to stop. That's the spirit that makes you unstoppable. Your past didn't break you. It built you. Every challenge you faced, every trial you've endured has been shaping you into the woman you are becoming. You are the one the enemy warned his demons about, because your story isn't one of defeat. It's one of resilience, strength, and unstoppable power. You might not see it yet, but the struggles you thought would destroy you have actually prepared you for something greater. Each hardship was a step on the path to your purpose, each setback a setup for a comeback. The enemy fears that comeback, the rise from the ashes, the breakthrough after the battle. You are just getting started. The best chapters of your life haven't been written yet. The fire inside you, the calling on your life, is just beginning to ignite. The power you carry is only growing stronger, and nothing in the past can hold you back now. So walk forward with confidence. Know that every moment of pain and perseverance was leading you here, to a place where you are unshakable, unstoppable, and deeply feared by the darkness. Your future is unfolding, and it's more powerful than you can imagine. You are not defined by what tried to break you, but by what you've built from it. And that's why you're the one the enemy fears. In every struggle, in every silent battle, you've been growing stronger, becoming a force the darkness cannot ignore. The pressure you feel, the targeting you endure, the pain you carry, and the quiet power you walk in, all of it is proof that you are rising into your true purpose. You don't need validation or applause, because your strength comes from within, fueled by faith and perseverance. The enemy fears you not because you are perfect, but because you refuse to be defeated. Your past has built you, not broken you, and your future holds a power so unstoppable that nothing can stand in your way. Remember this: you are the woman the devil fears. Now, step into that truth and walk boldly into all that you were created to be.